Hey there everyone, Aaron Spalsbury here at 3X Logic again. Alright, so we're going to take a look today at synchronized playback and how you can actually do synchronized playback. The nice thing about our software is we do give you the option of being able to go up to 16 cameras in synchronized playback or unsynced or partials and all that wonderful stuff, but I'll show you that here in just a moment. So the first thing we need to do is bring up some search results. So I'm going to come up here, go ahead and just click the search button here, and you'll notice I've got kind of a bunch of different cameras on here, and I've got a couple of options as far as what I want to do. Now I do have a load all button. That'll load all 16 if we want to, or I can simply come down here, click in the white space, and then draw some, of course, if these are all going to be right next to each other, or I can hold down the control button and manually select whichever ones that I want here. So I'll just kind of grab a few of these just for simplicity's sake. I'll grab 4 of them, but notice when I select just a few of these, I get a button called Load Selected that just appears right above our search results here. So I'm going to go ahead and click Load Selected. This, of course, is going to jump out, grab all 4 of these cameras and display them for me here on our playback window. Now, I do have 4 independent playback controls for each one of these cameras. You'll notice under each one of these cameras I've got the typical play, fast forward, rewind, all that wonderful stuff. Okay? Now over here off to the left hand side, you'll notice I have a button labeled Synchronized Playback. Well, if I click this guy, it'll actually synchronize all of the cameras to whichever one that this one is. Now I do have a couple more options here as well. If I right click on it, I can sync every one of them together. I can unsync all of them. I can unsync just this one, or I can sync all of them and set the camera timestamp to this one camera if we want to. But needless to say, this gives you a lot of options. So I'll give you kind of an idea here. I'll go ahead and click Sync All Playbacks. So now that I've synced all 4 of these together, you'll notice that all of my playback controls have now gone down to just one global control that's all the way down here at the very bottom of the screen. You may also notice that rather than 4 independent cursors over here off to the left, I now have one solid yellow cursor. And of course, as these would play through here, I'll go ahead and click play on this guy, and of course they're going to start playing as cameras have motion and things of that nature. They'll toggle back and forth, and of course if it doesn't have motion, it'll just give me a screen that says image at, and of course the time it last saw an image. But let's say, for instance, I'm going to pause this guy right here, and I've got a guy down here kind of meandering around in the grass in the lower left corner. Let's say, for instance, I wanted to save just this one shot of this guy here, but yet continually play the other 3 cameras. Well, I can come over here off to the left side here, on top of the unsynchronized playback button, and I can right click just this one. I can unsync just this one. I can leave him on the screen, and of course if you remember how to zoom, I'll roll my mouse wheel down, we'll zoom in on this guy, right? So I can leave this one on the screen while I still have the global controls for the other 3 cameras. Now of course that allows us to be able to do things like, for instance, if we had a guy coming through the front door, we zoom in on his face, we pause that one, maybe we want to leave that one on the screen while we continue to play the remainders. Well, we certainly can. So it really gives you quite a bit of flexibility as far as what you can do with the software, and of course the multitude of playback windows you can bring up on one screen. But that's all that there really is to synchronized playback, guys. Hope you enjoyed this one. We'll see you on the next video.